This conference will now be recorded.
Nice.
Okay, the time being 7:07 p.m. We're calling the October 28th, 2020 meeting of the Tilton Budget Committee to order. Before we get started, if you are participating by phone or the GoToMeeting platform, please mute your microphone during the meeting unless you want to speak. Otherwise, background noise will interfere with the meeting. The zoning, okay. That's that one, right? And, okay. Also, let's see, there was something else here. Additionally, there is an opportunity for the public to attend the meeting in person. However, in order to maintain social distancing, only 8 spaces are available. Attendance is on a first come, first served basis. Once the maximum limit has been reached, anyone wishing to participate in the meeting must do so remotely. Anyone has a problem with the remote access to the meeting, please email web@tiltonnewhampshire.org, which will be monitored during the meeting. Okay, we'll now proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we would like to begin by going into a non-public session. So we need a motion to enter the non-public.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we go into non-public for RSA 91A:3, that which discussed in public would adversely affect the reputation of another.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, we need a roll call vote. Ted?
Here.
Pat?
Yes.
Kathy?
Dawson, yes.
And I vote yes. Just for information, we have Pat Constantino here as an alternate for John Scanlon, Ted Gargano, Kathy Dawson, and Bill Lawrence in attendance. Okay, so as of RSA 91-3, 2C, matters which are discussed in public would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board, unless such a person requests an open meeting. This exemption shall extend to include any application for assistance, tax abatement, or waiver of a fee, fine, or other levy, if based on inability to pay of the applicant. So as of 7/11, we will go into non-public, hoping to return by approximately 7:30.
This conference will now be recorded.
We are rejoining the Tilton Budget Committee after a closed session at we'll begin at 7:44. And please note, I think Dick Olson has now joined the group. And we have Jeannie Forrester from the Selectmen's office. All right, is everyone hearing me?
I'm back. Everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yay.
And looks
Yeah,
like
you
Dick
hear me, correct?
is there, yeah.
Dick, are you on there twice?
Okay,
Hey, we can see
there's
him.
Pat, there's Dick.
Dick, you're muted.
All right, it's Ted. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Okay, great.
And Ted. Okay, so we have Jeannie, Dick, Ted, Pat.
And Tim's here now too, yeah, great.
Okay, now you first thing you have to ask if you can do.
Okay. That is,
You need a motion.
I guess we need a motion now to seal those
closed session minutes.
Second.
Yeah, I'll make that motion, Kathy.
Oh, so who made the motion?
I did. All right, so, Dick, the motion is to seal the the minutes of the closed session. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Pat says aye. Ted? Can't quite hear you, Tim.
Aye.
Okay, great. Kathy?
Yes.
Bill, aye. Okay. So we will now move on to the next agenda is to review and approve minutes of last week, October 21st. Has everyone had a chance to look at those? Or?
Yep, I sure did.
What was that? That's cool. What was that?
I don't know.
On page 5, kind of in the middle of Kate Austin added that as an elected official, we could be bound by the non-public session. I think I was referring to that she would be bound by the non-public session.
Okay, I'm on page 5, and whereabouts?
A little bit above middle, begins Kate Austin added.
Yeah. That as an elected official, we could be bound by the non-public.
Right, but I was referring to Pat's status joining, that's what the discussion was whether or not Pat would be allowed to join us, and I believe I said she would be bound by the non-public session.
You would be bound by the non-public session. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
I was making sure. We're still reviewing the minutes, right?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure. Awkward silence. I wasn't here, so I really can't comment too much.
Yeah, I just got them right today, so I'm just reading them now.
Just figured to keep the crowd entertained, I guess. Hype it up.
I have one question that I'd like to comment on mine on page. Let me get it back here now. Page 4, where it says Pat asked if the food program is the commodity program, and Barbara Haywood said yes, but no matter what program, they can go to Laconia. The food program is not the only program that the CAP in Franklin had. They have a Meals on Wheels program also. So there's 2 different food programs. I was specifically asking about the commodity program
Okay.
because she was speaking of the commodity program going to Laconia. But the meals, so I don't know if you need to identify that or not. But
Later on the page, Pat, John Scanlon talked about Meals on Wheels.
so when I spoke and asked Barbara Haywood, the director of the Franklin program, the director of the outsource that took Gail Lyman's place, I specifically asked her about the commodity program, not the food program. I just think the word food program is misleading because there are 2 food programs. One is the commodity program and one is the Meals on Wheels.
So I don't mean to
Makes sense?
catch me up. So their program isn't. I wasn't here last week, so I didn't get to look at the whole meeting. But so their food program. I know they moved. They're in the transition of moving. Have they found a place that they're established?
They're up at the senior center in Laconia. However, they're making arrangements. They're going to speak about the arrangements for the commodities program for some place in Tilton. They were kind of hoping for the senior center, but it's a storage problem there. But the food program, there's two. There's a Meals on Wheels program, which is out and about in the town, which they deliver meals. And then there's a commodity program where they go with specific allocations each month from a federal program, and they go and pick it up once a month. And that is a storage problem because now you have milk and dried milk and cheese and things like that that you go and pick up. It's probably 40, 50 pounds worth of food each month. And you store it until that they come and pick it up. And you have to have permission to go and pick it up for a senior if somebody else is picking it up for you. And now they've moved that location because they've closed Franklin office down to Laconia, and a lot of our seniors can't go and get that.
I actually saw that you raised quite a bit of concerns. I just briefly over there, so I just figured you knew more about it. You've always seemed to know pretty much everything there is to know about CAP. So,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we need to stick with the minutes right now.
is that correct?
But I sort of remember us distinctly talking about the two food programs with Jeff. So what did you want to change on that, Pat?
I can't hear you, Bill.
What did you want to change in that sentence?
I just think that the word food program should be identified as us if the program, if just take out,
You could say one food program is a commodity program. Then there's one food program.
just asked about the commodity program. Just take out food program.
Okay, sure. That's
Yeah.
great.
That would be sufficient, right?
That's perfect, thank you.
Okay, so I guess we'll move to accept the minutes with the changes.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Second.
All right, any other discussion about that? Okay, so we'll do roll call vote. Pat?
Nah. I'll abstain, thanks.
Okay, Ted?
Yes.
Dick?
Abstaining, sorry. Yeah, I'm out.
Sure. Kathy?
Dawson, yes?
And Bill Lawrence, yes. Okay, do we have any other correspondence? Yes? No. Okay, so other business would be November meeting schedule. And we're thinking of meeting the first, what's that, the 4th and the 18th. And hopefully we may get some town budget in at that point. But at next meeting, we should really discuss do your homework, look over what we've received for information, and so that we can discuss this and maybe make some decisions on the 4th.
When you mean decisions on which, I don't know which ones we didn't vote. I haven't caught up on the minutes yet, just for the sake of conversation. So we didn't vote on anything last meeting?
I believe right now, we have voted on the Lake Street Mental Health, which you were at that for $500. And then I think we voted on Old Home Day. Which, by the way, Dick, did you get that list of their mailing list from Old Home Day?
No, I never did.
Okay, 3M is the first business on their list.
Can I get that mailing list sent to me?
Yes, we will.
All right, cool.
I got it here. Yes.
All right, cool.
And actually, she gave me two lists and they're both on it, but I just took the most recent. So,
Good stuff.
okay, so we also voted on, did we vote on the concert series? Or did we not?
We did, that was back.
That was done way back. That was a few weeks ago, I thought. So last week we didn't vote on anything when Cap came. Oh, home day was,
Just old home day.
that was the week before, I thought. Unless it was brought back up. Was it brought back up?
Right, after we had the list, John Scanlon made a motion to fund Old Home Day.
Even though we funded it the week before?
The vote with, pardon me?
Did we fund that the week before? We did fund that the week before when they were there.
We put that aside because of your contention that they never solicited funds. So we had the list to prove that they did.
You voted ahead of it, then I complained about it.
What's that?
We voted on it. Everyone voted to approve the funds, fully fund it.
No,
And then
you check the minutes on the, if you check the minutes on the 14th, you'll see that we put that aside. But we waited until this month, this last week.
We voted on that the week before when we were fighting about it. We just approved it in a rush of things. And then we said, oh, we can reconsider it next week, Catherine said.
Any vote can be readdressed, you know. If there's something you want to bring up about Old Home Day.
I think you mentioned that on home day when we voted on it the first time. So we just voted on a second time last week to approve it again?
I don't think it was ever approved the first time.
No,
I think
was
it was put on hold.
Dick, you made such a big hullabaloo that I told you that I would get the mailing list from Deborah before we voted on it.
Next week, we'll get it for you. That's what you guys said. We voted, you guys voted on it. I was like, oh, okay, well then. You didn't get all the information. I said, we're not being consistent. And then I had that conversation about not being consistent. That's why I remembered it kind of stuck out to me. So.
You have the 14th there? I don't know where mine are here.
Yeah.
It would be in the 20, it'd be in the October 20th.
Okay, it does look like we did pass that back then, yeah.
All right, so I'm not crazy. Jeez.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, Dick. But you're right.
It's more often than you think, Pat.
Yeah, okay. And so I guess the only thing I remember is that I was supposed to bring you that list, which I did, which is here. We'll send it off to you.
Look at that.
All right, so let's do some homework and, review the bottom lines. And if you get a chance, you can always Google what organizations have received PPP or PPE monies. That's out there in the public domain. I've found a few things here that's interesting. So.
What'd you find? Please do share what's interesting. Now you got piqued my interest.
Well, I'll bring it up at the next meeting.
Are we going to schedule the department heads? It's a department
I think we should do that.
On the 4th?
Yeah.
Are we still having all the department heads coming out for each department?
Right. They should be hopefully wrapping up. Whoever's got their budget wrapped up, I think we should start meeting with them, the budget department heads. So that will hopefully, Janice will follow up and see who we can get in here.
Yeah, talk to-
Budget for the for like the cost of like utilities and all that already set in stone? And a plan for the transition of the property? I'm just curious about, we're selling now the property, but has there been like a whole plan for the transition between us doing all the utilities, and are we gonna have two buildings at one time? How's this whole transition period going?
What are you talking about, Dick?
The PD.
Oh, the police?
Yeah, the police station. Just
We'll
the
have to,
transition.
yeah, I
Are
don't
we
know.
getting buildings? Are we selling the building? What's the plan for like selling it? Or I just didn't know if we had any kind of idea that how that's gonna affect the budget, everything like that.
There's probably information we should get if we're gonna prepare a budget based on
Sure.
needs for maintenance.
Okay,
Two buildings.
I mean, it would be good if the selectmen had come to the meeting, they could tell us what's happening with that.
Almighty Pat.
We can send, we'll have Janice send a letter to the, or something.
Looks like
to
you popped up. Tim, do you know any insight on this? Looks like you popped up
Yeah,
a little bit.
we're developing a plan. There is going to be a small overlap, but I certainly, if you want to make the request to the board, that's fine. But so we have a projected completion date. We're a little bit behind schedule right now, but they're hoping to make up the time. So we really have to see how the weather holds. And we have just listed the old police department, so that's that process has started, and we're collecting bids on moving companies and that sort of thing. And we do have a rough plan that we're filling in for how exactly the move is going to go in the transition itself. But more than likely, there will be hopefully as small as possible an overlap in terms of utilities.
And the transition of the property in general back to it. And it should be sold back to a public, so hopefully it'll be back on the tax card. So
That's correct. And that's just going to depend on the market and the activity in the market. So, yep.
Great, any other business?
I have one question.
Yes, Catherine.
Janice, were you able to order the budget books?
Yes, thank you, Catherine. Yes, the budget books are being ordered, and once they're in, I'll make sure that I can.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
you can hear it on the camera here at all. I don't know what that was.
You couldn't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you crystal now. Perfect.
Okay, what I said was, yes, the budget books have been ordered, and as soon as they come in, I'll make sure they're at the next meeting.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Sorry about that.
No, no problem. I guess I have to be on top of this, Mike. I have to remember.
Right.
That's right.
Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn unless you have something else.
Oh, just one thing. I have municipal budget committee roles and responsibilities from the local government center by their attorney. I didn't know if anybody wanted a copy of it. It's just a short brief, but it's kind of interesting.
That's similar to what we see
Huh?
from the,
Is it what?
similar to what we receive from Jeannie.
No. No, this is strictly from the municipal center.
Okay.
I'll take a copy.
Okay.
I'll
Have Janice make some copies.
put a copy in everybody's folder.
Okay,
Thank you.
We'll get up tomorrow morning if that's okay. Awesome.
sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Motion
Okay,
to adjourn.
move to adjourn. I think Pat seconded.
That was Dick.
All those in favor, say aye.
Why?
Aye.
Aye.
Call vote. Okay, Dick, Pat, Ted.
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Okay, Kathy, Bill, aye.
Doesn't, good.
All right, great. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks. See you next week, same time, same channel.
All right. Good night.
Aye, guys.
Night, Pat.
Good night, Dick.
You're funny. Roll call.